The food of Lebanon is a rich blend of various cultures that have called the country home over hundreds of years. Influences from Turkey and France have added a variety of cooking styles and ingredients that have made Lebanese food one of the most popular cuisines of the Middle East. Join us as we explore the cultural flavors of Lebanon. Lebanon is situated on the Mediterranean Sea, sharing its borders with Syria and Israel, and due to its location has experienced many political and cultural upheavals, helping shape its identity. The normal staples of rice and grains are complemented by fresh herbs and spices rather than sauces, and meat, most notably poultry and lamb, is generally used in local dishes.
Lebanese food is all about herbs. We focus on lots of green, parsley, mint, cucumber, radish, name it, all kinds of herbs. And we focus on lots of wheat and semolina and meat as well, and chicken. We are so fussy about olive oil, really with everything. And the olive oil, we drizzle it all around the dips. If you have baba ganoush or hummus, you always put olive oil. Lebanese food is actually, as the original, come from Lebanon. We didn't pick up our dishes from different countries like some countries.
Similar to several other Middle Eastern countries, drinks are rarely served without food, and an array of small dishes of differing flavors are often presented to guests, known as meze. Of course, there are many regions of Lebanon, and each has its own style of local cuisine and common local ingredients, all of which help make up the cultural flavors of Lebanon. Traditionally eaten by mountain folk, tabbouleh has become one of the most famous of all Lebanese dishes. Featuring parsley, mint, tomato, lemon juice and olive oil, this healthy salad is commonly eaten as part of a meze.
Meza is all kind of dishes, nearly little bit from everything, from salad to dip to labni. It will be, if somebody ran you and they coming for drink or dinner, the meza is always on the table. And you can eat it any time of the day, brunches, lunch, or dinner. Meza, it's kind of show you it's welcome in Lebanon, kind of hospitality. Can be as an entree for people when they come over. And, or it can be as an entree before you have your main meal. Some people, they do put the main meal and the meza all together on the table and they sit down and gather together.
Tabbouleh is a delicious Middle Eastern salad or appetizer that can be eaten on its own, in pita bread, or as a side dish. The main ingredient is fresh parsley, and you'll need about 3 generous bunches. Another core ingredient is bulgur, which is a cereal made from several different wheat species and can be found in most natural food stores. You'll need around half a cup of mint leaves. These will infuse your salad with their fresh, aromatic and sweet flavor. The other ingredients required include about 3 or 4 medium-sized tomatoes, 1 bunch of finely chopped spring onions or salad onions and 1 brown onion. In order to bind the ingredients of this salad together, you'll need the juice from a lemon along with half a cup of extra virgin olive oil. Of course, ground black pepper and sea salt seasonings are added to taste. If you wish, you can use the leaves from an iceberg lettuce to serve. The first job is to wash the bulgur in water. Place the cereal into a large mixing bowl and cover with cold water. Drain the water off by pouring the bulgur over a large sieve. Then, place the washed wheat back into the first bowl. We can now begin the process of preparing the salad. Pick some juicy red tomatoes and slice them like so. Then put the slices on their side and dice them. Once all your tomatoes have been diced, place them in the mixing bowl along with the bulgur. Next, take a few bunches of fresh parsley and place them on your chopping board. Carefully pick up each sprig of parsley and hold them by the stalk in the other hand. This is a quick and easy way to remove the stalks from the leafy part of the herbs. Place the bunch onto the board, then chop and remove the stalks. Now chop the leaves like so, while holding them in a tight bunch. Add your parsley to the mixing bowl. The mint is the next herb to be prepared. Remove the leaves from the stalks and place them in a small pile on your chopping board. Finally chop them and put them in the bowl. Now we can start adding our other ingredients. Finely dice your salad onion and then season with a little salt and pepper. Then, continue dicing the onion to ensure that the seasoning is mixed in well. Add this to the other ingredients. For the next step, slice 2 lemons in half and squeeze them out. Remove the pips with a knife and then pour the lemon juice over your salad mix. Finally, take a good quality virgin oil and drizzle about half a cup over everything.
Now we finished from the olive oil. What we have to do, just make sure we mix it with hand, go all over, let's bond all together, mix it with love. And the next step, it's the best step to do, try a little bit of it, see if we need more salt or pepper. And it's absolutely beautiful, doesn't need anything.
Your tabbouleh salad is now ready to serve. Take a large handful using both hands and place it into a serving dish. Garnished with a wedge of lemon, this versatile and very healthy salad can be eaten alongside any number of other dishes or accompaniments. But by far the simplest way is to roll some tabbouleh inside some lettuce. Coming up on Cultural Flavours, a versatile meat dish and the essentials of Lebanese cooking. Lebanon boasts a wonderful variety of foods and flavours thanks to the local climate and ample water supply delivered from the mountains. Common across the region are chickpeas. Used in all manner of dishes, the most famous chickpea dish is hummus, a dip or spread made from mashed chickpeas, tahini, which is a sesame seed paste, with olive oil, lemon juice and salt.
Food in Lebanon, we focus on lots of herbs, parsley, mint, and we do use lots of wheat and beans. And that's why we make lots of dips, hummus, baba ghanoush, and with the herbs we focus on the tabbouleh, lettuce, cucumber, radish, name it. And in Lebanon we don't have 3 main meals. We always have the meza. If people coming for drink or dinner, the meza is always on the table.
The vegetables most often used in the region are a combination of indigenous and locally grown produce, and introduced foods from a long history of trade and upheaval. Eggplant, right across Central Asia and the Middle East, is a favourite in Lebanon, as is potatoes. Cucumbers, squash, onions, cauliflower and tomatoes all have a place in Lebanese cuisine. The flavours of Lebanese food are often subtle, with relatively light spicing and very little use of thick flavoured sauces. Typical flavours in the local cuisine are garlic, parsley, mint, thyme, turmeric, cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, ginger and fenugreek. Cardamom is used very often in local dishes, and its distinct flavour can be discovered everywhere. Olives are a major part of Lebanese food culture. There are literally thousands of olive plantations throughout the country. Olives are eaten whole, but the oil is more common, and most households in Lebanon use olive oil like Western countries use butter. The great thing about the essential ingredients of Lebanese cooking is they are readily available nearly everywhere, and anyone can explore Lebanese cultural flavours no matter where you live. The Levant is a geographical region that includes the modern states of Lebanon, Syria, Jordan and Iraq. And kibbeh is one of the most characteristic foods of Levantine cuisine.
The secret of the good kibbeh, you will be using good meat. Try to use good minced meat, and we do use onion and herbs. And when you put the crushed wheat, make sure it's being soaked enough, because when the crushed wheat is soaked, and goes through the food processor, they bond beautifully together. And this is the secret. And you can have a kibbeh, baked kibbeh, or you can have them kibbeh as a meatball and stuff with the stuffing, and we use it as an entree as well.
To prepare this nourishing dish at home, you'll need a variety of very common ingredients. The meal can be cooked using either beef or lamb. We're using ground minced beef. The other core ingredient is bulgur, or cracked wheat. You'll also need about 1/4 cup of pine nuts, or, if you prefer, walnuts are a good alternative. In addition to the core ingredients, you should also have 1 medium onion and about 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. The dish also calls for a selection of spices to give its distinctive flavour. The first important thing to do is to allow the crushed wheat to soak. Pour around 2½ cups of dark fine bulgur into a mixing bowl and cover with water. Put to one side for about 15 minutes. Heat about 1/3 cup of vegetable oil in a saucepan to a moderate temperature. Meanwhile, remove the outer layers of a medium-sized onion and finely chop before adding straight to the hot oil. Regularly stir until the onion begins to pale in colour. Next, pour about 1/4 cup of pine nuts in with the onion and stir. Now we can add the meat. Simply toss the meat in with the other ingredients and mix well until the beef has begun to brown. Season well with salt and pepper. You will need about 1/2 teaspoon of each. Then stir well until all the meat has browned. Before we begin with the stuffing, quickly drain off all the water from the cracked wheat. Take a large brown onion, remove its skin, and then dice into large chunks. Place these into a food processor and blend well. Tip the onion in with the washed bulgur, then add about 250 grams of coarse ground beef to the bowl. Now, to add a little seasoning and spice to the stuffing. First, scoop 1/2 a teaspoon each of cinnamon powder and allspice before grinding about 1 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of ground black pepper over the meat.
Now everything ready in the bowl. All we have to do now, mix it with the hand, make sure everything mixed together. If the kibbe a bit dry, all we have to add a little bit of cold water to make sure it's mixed together. And we take a little bit at the time, put it in the food processor for 1 minute, and we continue doing the processing, and the kibbe will be ready to finish it off in the baking dish.
Once you've ground the kibbe together in the blender, put it to one side. Fetch a low circular baking tray and line it with some olive oil.